Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel, and welcome to this reflection on week 3 of One Book July. That's right, we are in week 3. Nothing really has changed on the outside, save for these pretty amazing little charm dealies. These are a purple owl bookmark from the Opal Wild on Etsy. I was trying to use a more economical ribbon bookmark out of just some junk I had lying around, and it wasn't weighted even though I put knots in it, and I didn't want to go down the rabbit hole of buying beads or findings because I've tried making jewelry before and I know how quickly you can amass that stuff, and I didn't want to venture down that road, so I felt the most economical option, at least I rationalized, would be to buy something I really wanted from Etsy. So that's what I did. Still using this awesome pen, and it has not failed me. In fact, I'm loving it more and more with every use. Haven't added anything to my dash, or not dash, but the front. Still that picture of my husband with our pup and our cat, and a note page just in case I get Ian to write a note to someone or a list for something. But as of yet, that has not happened. This was the planner setup for week 3. And it's fine. I really like trying to figure out what was the top 5 events of that week. I wrote spending time with A, which is my husband, playing Marvel Avengers with him, the Lego game. That's fun when we get to like work as a team. And walking Evie late at night, because we can go on longer walks, and since it's not super hot, we can extend our walk time. Also making dinner. I made a lot of dinner this week. Didn't eat out so much. And movie time. We saw a couple of movies this week. Just at home, but that's okay because it's still fun. Other than that, this spread is pretty sparse, which is okay because it actually worked out for me. This I filled out after the fact. I didn't fill as I went. Or I didn't fill it in as I went along my week, so that might be unfortunate, but I think going forward to this next week coming up here, I want to stick maybe with a week on one page rather than splitting it up over here, because there was a lot of unused space. But I mean, the overall setup actually worked. It wasn't like I was burdened by a crappy planner spread, like I was perhaps in week previous, where I felt too penned in and I couldn't really explore things to the fullest. I'm sorry, there's a little fly flying around over here. I think he's attracted to my light. I apologize for that. But anyways, it actually worked. I referenced it daily, but not excessively, and I didn't feel like I had to fix it, so awesome. And this gave me time to think about other stuff, like where I want the rest of this insert to go. So I marked off the rest of July, where I want my August monthly to be, where August will extend to, and I've also decided that this is pretty much going to be my summer insert. I'm going to keep using it throughout the summer and probably with the new school year because I'm really digging this size. But as it is a record of what I did this summer, I made a YouTube sort of planning section, just breaking up all the steps to how I post. I forgot to add one for a title card, but that's okay. And these stamps are just the stamps from, I think, 2 different Michaels stamp sets. One was the icons, which is where those little clacker cards come from, and then the actual shapes came from another set. And since I began this probably here, that's why they're not so much filled out. But this one has a lot of notes, and I find having a place to keep my video notes is really awesome, and it helps me remember stuff, especially when I go over and do voiceover. Like this ink business, I would have just been stammering all over the place trying to remember those ink names, but I think this is better suited than in my actual weekly spread. Plus, also, I'm limited with how much room I have. I mean, I have probably 5, maybe 6 more pages that are not in use at the moment, so I can always extend this to another area of my planner. That's not a problem, but I worry about, especially when I had the lectern or the larger bullet journal that was perfect bound, or rather bound, and you can't add, you can't subtract really. I worried about leaving enough space, and I feel like that kind of hindered my style. But now that I'm firmly resigned that this is a record of what I'm doing this summer, I feel like I have a little more freedom. So I have my spread about pre-planning for school. I've migrated some stuff too. Oh no, my elastic is acting wonky. This was in my personal planner, which is stuff to do this summer that I wrote in the weeks leading to my summer break. I've knocked out like half of the list, but notice it's all kind of the fun side of the list, like track the books I've read so far, run a YouTube giveaway, move into my summer Hobonichi, declutter my drawer. The stuff I have not done: clean bedding, clean shower, actually clean the cubbies in my desk, because I have like one of those very aesthetically pleasing Instagram worthy cubby hole situation things, but they're just jam-packed full of stuff, and they're not so aesthetically pleasing in that situation. I also decided to stop feeling bad about all the stuff I'm not doing about summer and actually talk about the stuff I have been doing, which is consuming a lot of entertainment. Sorry, I could not say that word. So I'm gonna write the video games I did, the TV shows I've been watching. I did draw an old school TV, and I know that's not the way that I actually view my TV content. I do it on like an iPad or a computer, but I was feeling nostalgic. The podcasts I listen to because I'm a great fan. The music I've been influenced by, or at least listening to, like I've been picking up The Damned again, thanks in large part to Baby Driver, which if you haven't seen any of Edgar Wright films, definitely check that out. But there's a pivotal moment where they played The Damned, Neat Neat Neat, like the first track from their first album, and it's just so amazing. Yes, it's in the place where his like whole life starts to fall apart essentially, but I think that's what makes it so beautiful, because I remember first listening to that album when my life first started falling apart, like in high school. So it's a nice nostalgia trip, but listening to it with the perspective of an adult is even better. It still grows on you. And then yeah, the movies, because my husband and I have been taking advantage of our days off together, which are genuine days off where I don't have to go to school, I don't have to study for something, and we're going to the movies, or we're watching movies at home and just spending time together in general. And like I said, I've mapped up all of August. Some other things I've added to my planner: I migrated this list of books I've read. These were for classes, like these are all like kids books that I read for a children's lit class, and then these are books I read for a Brit Lit class, and these are the books I've read for my own edification and pleasure, which it's a limited list. Currently I'm reading Slaughterhouse-Five, which I read thinking that it would endear me to cool people, like when I was in middle school. Side note, reading large books won't make you seem cool to your peers, but it will make you seem cool to adults. So there's that. But as I read it as a middle schooler, I did not process as much as I'm processing now, which is why I didn't blow it through that whole short novel really quickly. I'm still trudging through it and having some problematic revisionist thoughts about it. I mean, this isn't a book YouTube channel, but yes, I'm processing, and that's about it. So I'm really happy with the state that this whole insert's in. I really like it, and I foresee actually finishing it by summer, which is fantastic. So, woo! And that's a deep departure from last week, right? When I was very, very upset, coming to terms. Things were difficult. This was not a happy space at the moment. I did a little bit of watercolor in this actual watercolor section. However, I just went to the first available page, or like the page it opened up to, which is understandably the one with the elastic in it. And it wasn't the one that was actually next, so I kind of feel bad about that. But a YouTube recommendation popped up for learning how to layer in watercolor, and I will post a link to that video down here. But it was really amazing and helpful, and it made it seem totally feasible. So I was like, why am I just watching this? I could definitely reproduce this. So once again, kudos to that YouTuber, and I will post it here for your enjoyment, if that's something you're into. They kind of look like magnolias almost, but I don't know much about flowers to really state that definitively. And here's my sticker pocket. Again, I haven't really been using them like at all. I haven't opened it. I mean, with One Book July, I should only be putting in things that I use, but I have a really deep feeling like I want to use these. I just haven't done so. However, though my planning spread may be a little sparse for this, the third week, or third week being last week, my journaling section has actually been pretty good. Because when you spend less time worrying about your plans, you spend more time doing. So here's one devoted to, oh no, adhesive problems. Sorry. Devoted to Spider-Man Homecoming, which I saw with my husband last week, and it was really phenomenal. And side note, it featured the Ramones in the soundtrack, so I'm a happy girl. I say I've really enjoyed walking my dog late at night, and that's true, but because of the weather and our sleep patterns, we've been forced to kind of walk her during the morning, and the people you meet during the morning are vastly different from the ones you try to avoid super late at night. So I just wanted to document that. Like, a lot more kids, cute kids wanting to pet her. This one was very sweet and asked if she was friendly, and I said definitely and let him pet her, and it was very sweet. But that is my cartoony version of Evie, our pup. And then, just like I said in my last video, I wanted to make this a happy place, so I'm just marking down good stuff. So I went and met a friend for dinner, which is super rare for me. I don't do anything social usually. I filled my fountain pen, which was giving me undue amounts of anxiety because it's the first time I've ever done that and broken away from cartridges, and I was just worried I was going to mess it up or break my pen or affect the nib somehow, and I didn't. It was successful, and I used that ink there. It's a Noodler's, it's a Massachusetts one, the permanent blue-black ink, but it is very nice. And then I'm just working on journaling what happened yesterday, because today's Monday. But I'm just working on what happened yesterday, which was a bunch of awesome stuff because my husband and I had the day off again. And, oh yeah, the other half of my traveler's notebook bookmark charm thing is on my art junk journal section. So that's about it. I did write, not that much though, really just, oh, my hair's there, nice. Really just one of the days I worked, and that was about it. But that's okay. And other than that, nothing has changed. But I am super happy with the way things are right now. I foresee this being a successful journey for the rest of One Book July. I mean, we have a few more weeks here. The 4th week, the 5th week, and technically I'm going into the 6th week since well, you know what, maybe not. We'll see where it goes, because if Monday's July 31st, is that true? Monday's July 31st. Backtracking here. Yeah, it falls on July 31st. You know what, I might cut this plan to just these last 2 weeks of July. Maybe. We'll see. But that doesn't mean I'm gonna stop using this planner because it's really working out. So thank you so much for watching again. I hope you have an awesome rest of your week, and I hope your journey thus far in One Book July has been just as fruitful as mine, and if not, just better. And yeah, thank you again so much for watching me. I really appreciate it. Have a great day.